Hey Brett, Nick O'Neill here with Leo Digital SEO. I do appreciate your time on the phone this morning. So I got this video here for your website and your business, and it's going to have 3 points for you. And those 3 points are going to be content, backlinks, and citations. And then I'll show you the opportunity of taking these steps for your business and why it's going to be so important. So first things first, right? We got your website here, and first thing first is going to be content. And generally, Google likes to see 1,500 to 2,000 words. Now that's depending on competition and the number of keywords needed. And so if you're asking what a keyword is is anything someone might type into Google when they're looking for a particular service or product. So in your content, you can place these keywords throughout to tell Google, exactly what terms you want your website to be found for. So here, just to give you more examples of that keyword, right? Texas Premier Coating, resurfacing. A keyword might be stained concrete Austin or epoxy flooring Austin or anything of that nature, right? So I got your website pulled up here in a word counter, and we see you are at that 692 word. You are going to want to go ahead and get that up to 1,500 to 2,000 words so that Google will consider your site an authority, right? And so I got your top competition here, and that's ATX epoxy flooring or Austin, Texas epoxy flooring. And we can just put them in here and see how you stack up against them as well. And we see that they're at that 1,100 to 1,200 threshold. So again, you do want to get that up to 1,500. You don't want to just get even with them, right? You can get that up to 1,500 at least, or 2,000, so that Google will consider your site an authority. And that will be that for the first point. And now the second point I'm going to have for your business is going to be a backlink. And now a backlink is anywhere you find one website linking to another. In this case, it's going to be one website linking back to Texas Premier Coat Resurfacing's website right here, right? And so these links, they act like an endorsement for your website from others. And Google basically uses this to build trust in your business by seeing other websites vouching for your website. The best way I can put this is, in Google's eyes, it's literally like a popularity contest with the most websites pointing back to one website wins that popularity contest, right? And so I got my tool Airs here. Now this is a tool that I actually pay for monthly. It gives me a little more in-depth data on the website and the competition's websites. And we can see here that you are at 104 backlinks, right? And 35 websites vouching for your website or linking back to your website, right? And so we got your competition in here, ATX epoxy floors, and we see that they're at 591 backlinks and 245 other referring websites back to their page, right? So you are going to want to go ahead and kick those up a notch. So just to actually go ahead a little more in depth, right, we can see exactly what websites are referring back to them. And the idea is, if it works for them, then it will work for you. And so you see all these websites right here. Now, I do want to point out that not all links are equal, so it is worth noting to stay relevant to your industry, and local websites will work best. And what I mean when I say they're not equal, right? This DR right here, that domain rating, is basically the power in Google's eyes that this website's going to have to vouch for your website. So you want to stay on the higher end of these, right? As they'll pack more of a punch and get you ranking faster than some of these other lower ranked websites like these, right? You don't want to go for none of these low ranking ones. You want to go for these higher ones right here. If we go even further, right, to give you more examples of those keywords, if you're wondering what those keywords might entail, we can see that your top competition is using these keywords right here, right? So they've got residential epoxy flooring, epoxy floor Austin, and we can see that, 6,000 people are searching for that monthly, or 250 people are searching for epoxy floor Austin monthly. The keyword difficulty is from 0 to 100. You want to stay on the lower end of it, as you can see they're doing. And this is the amount of people that they're getting to their website monthly just off of this one keyword alone, right? Because they're ranked number 1 for it. So here's some more examples of those keywords for you. And now that we've covered those 2 points, let's go to my last point that I'm going to have for you. And that's going to be a citation. Let's look at this Google Map Pack section over here for you, Brett. And so now a citation is anywhere you find your business name, address, or service area and phone number, exactly as it is on this GMB page right here. And so these citations, they help you rank in this map pack here, which we know is extremely important for local businesses since they can generate huge amounts of revenues. So these citations are included in directories like, Yelp, Angie's, Expertise, BBB's, and then there's hundreds of others directories that I'm sure you've heard of, right? So social media accounts also account great for a citation as well. Just to give you a quick example, if you had a Facebook business page, on that Facebook business page, you would want to put your business name, address or service area, and phone number on that business page, and Google will count that and see that as one citation. So then you do that with Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, right? And so the idea is that once your branding begins to be found all over the internet by Google, because they constantly have bots crawling to see whose presence is felt most compared to the competitors, then the larger your online presence is, the more Google trusts you, your website, and your business. And once Google starts to see you more often than these cats right here, that's when they're going to start ranking you higher up in this map pack here, again, which we know is extremely important. Someone puts in epoxy floor, Austin, Texas. You want to be on this top list right here. Nobody's going to go to page 2, 3, or 4 to look for a contractor, right? And so once you actually start, let's go do a quick recap real quick. Once you start to get that content up, right, 1,500 to 2,000 words, you're putting those keywords in there that I showed you on my tool Arrows. And once you're getting those backlinks up that we talked about, you're starting to win that quote unquote popularity contest. You got other websites linking back to Texas Premier Code Resurfacing. And then lastly, once you start getting those citations up for this GMB page right here, well, let's look at why you're going to want to go ahead and do that right now and why it might be so important. So ATX epoxy floors, right? And my tools Arrows, we see that they're getting 1.2 thousand people to their website monthly. And that's all for those 3 points that I talked about, right? And so let's say that out of those 1,200, only 10% actually decide to pick up the phone and call for a job or, you know, your services. So well, we're at 120 of those people, right? And let's say your business or whoever you have in the office only closes out half of those. So then you got 60 more jobs monthly just off of your online presence alone. And that's from those 3 points that we talked about. Now I'm not sure what your margins are right now, but I can guess that it would be a pretty good amount of revenue to you and the company off of those 3 points alone. And now I want to point out that this is a tool that I use, right? So the numbers are always higher. We don't have Google's exact numbers. We just have an algorithm that our tool uses, and the numbers are almost always higher. And as you can see, there's many, many, many more keywords that you can be using to start ranking for this stuff right here, right? And so, yeah, Brett, that's what I do for a living, and I'm making this video in hopes that it will start helping you generating some leads online. Brett, if you do find yourself wanting more to continue scaling the business, man, feel free to reach out and I can help you with some more information, or we can just talk about the goals of the business and I can do research to find out exactly what could be realistic, right? I just do ask that you leave one line of feedback, whether the video was helpful, something wasn't unclear, or if you had any questions about it, just let me know. Again, Brett, my name is Nick O'Neill, and do feel free to reach out to me. My cell phone is 832-728-9003, or reach back out through my email that I'm sending this to you on. Again, I do appreciate it. Hope you have a blessed day, man, and appreciate you for your time.